Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 6:45 on Saturday 4th of April. On my way down to the land on foot. Crazy times we're having, not quite sure what we'll get done today. Let's find out. Well, here we are, down on the land. It's a cool morning, sun's peeking out over the trees there. Everything appears to be as it was last weekend, though having said that, I did pop in, I think it was Wednesday night, on the way home from work, just to check on everything and to drop a few bits and pieces off, ready for today. And the Polytunnel, which from here actually looks perfectly normal, was taking a real battering. We had some seriously big winds during the week, and I had to do a little bit of emergency bracing inside the Polytunnel on this side here, which is the prevailing wind side. It was getting a right kicking from the wind, and I was really worried it was going to actually come down. But fortunately, by the looks of it, it hasn't come down. Though I am going to make one of my jobs today doing a bit more bracing work inside. I had hoped we'd seen the last of the winds over the winter and into spring, but clearly not. Anyway, lots I want to do today. Not quite sure what I will get done today. But first things first, let's get into the cabin and get the gear out, and we'll take it from there. Before I get started, I'll just give you a quick look at what I mean by the Polytunnel. On this side, everything looks straight in line and, well, normal, for want of a better description. On this side, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but yeah, you should be able to see. There is a definite sort of caving in at the centre section. You don't quite see it side on, but as you look straight down the side, I'm sure you can see there is a dip there towards the middle. Anyway, let's have a look inside. Wow, and it's warm still. I did some temporary bracing. The winds actually, you probably see on this actually, you see how that metal post is bent? The wind has just kicked the butt out of this during the week, and I was really lucky, I guess, that it didn't collapse. So I'll have to do something a bit more permanent. You can actually probably see better there. This centre bar, as you go along, you can see it's bowed there. Anyway, enough of talking about this. It's something I need to think about and do something about today. Good news. Last week, you might remember, there were 2 seedlings that had come through on the cauliflower tray. Now pretty much all of them have, and same with the broccoli. And we've got some carrots just peeking through there on a couple of trays. Sorry, a couple of these big pots. And we've also got peas making an appearance in this one. So that's really pleasing. Something's actually starting to grow. The first things that have grown on the land this year, well, ever in fact, for me. So yeah, I'll be doing the Polytunnel at some point today, on a similar vein about growing. You'll remember in some previous videos I planted some additional hedging. That now is sprouting. That's hawthorn bushes, and I planted, there's another one sprouting. I also planted some hazelnut, which are these here, and you can see that they too are actually starting to bud, which is really nice. Apple trees, they're across the field there. Go on, we're not that far away, may as well take a little look while we're here before we get into the mundane of sowing. So there's one of the apple trees. What's that doing? Now we have got buds, they're not green. You're not going to see that in this light, but we have got buds. And this is the other one, which, wow, this is actually broken out, the buds. So that's really good. So I know that both of the apple trees have taken. So yeah, from a planting perspective, we're off to a really good start this year, despite the best efforts of nature and the current damned medical emergency that's going on. Talking about which, I hope everyone is keeping safe and that you are, like me, social distancing. There is no one for miles apart from the odd car passing by on the road, and it is only the odd car. But yeah, I hope you are all staying safe, and I'm just hoping that over the next few weeks we'll have a bit of a look and a break, and we'll start to see a downward turn in this infection, and hopefully it'll disappear. One of the things I want to try and achieve today is with this OSB boarding that I've brought down, I want to make some progress with the partition wall for the bathroom area of the cabin extension. As always, we're kind of making it up as we go along here. I'm not quite sure of the design. I do need to leave some gaps so I can get water and electric services in, and I also need to figure out where I can put a sink and a cooker for a small kind of kitchen area. So those are a few of the things that I'm planning on today. Hopefully I've got enough material down here to do that, because it is difficult now with the this kind of lockdown that we're in here in the UK. It's difficult to get supplies. The DIY shops are shut. They will deliver to your house, but unfortunately I work all week, so I'm not there to take a delivery. So that's a bit of a non-starter for me. But anyway, hopefully we've got enough bits and pieces. We'll certainly make progress of some kind, because we always do, despite the challenges. So I'll keep you posted with progress as we go along. Well, we're steadily making progress. That's the first section next to the door done. So, not looking too bad, certainly sturdy enough. So we've got the two other sections to do. Not a bad day outside actually, sun's come out. It's just peeking through the trees. Not a bad day at all. You can see the sun gradually making its way across the field. Very quiet today, which is nice. So back to work we go. Well, we're making quite decent progress. Time is flying by, but so is the construction. We've now got that second section in, looking pretty nice. So there's the gap for the door. I'm going to have to figure out how high the door is going to be so I can sheet over the top section of the door frame. And then there's this corner section by the shower tray. Again, I need to think a little bit about that because I'm going to need access through that wall for pipe work for the shower. But yeah, good progress. Well, it's 11:30 already. I don't know where the time goes, but I've just finished sheeting out that partition wall, so got the bit done where the entrance is to the cabin extension, and then all the way around, just leaving the door exposed. So that's not a bad job. I need to measure up for the door, so I can't fill that section in yet because I don't quite know how high it's going to be. Also need to do something with that back wall where it joins that partition wall, but there's going to be some kind of bench going in that corner, maybe the cooker and sink, I don't know yet. I've got to figure that out, but yeah, bit of progress, quite pleased. Just had a look outside and I can see all these big black clouds coming over and the wind's starting to pick up, so I'm just going to take a break from inside the cabin and get into sorting out this polytunnel with some bracing. Idea is to cut some fairly substantial posts up and use those along the sides to brace the metal tube framing of the polytunnel. Bloody thick wood to cut with a handsaw, but we've got to keep buggering on while we can. Well, that wasn't the easiest job in the world, but I've cut the posts up. I've got 3 down each side where the frames of the polytunnel join together, the uprights and the lateral struts. Lateral struts, that's a bit posh. So they're in place, they're wedged in quite tightly, but just to make sure that they are properly secured, what I'll do is I'll drill through the sleeper the scaffold board on the raised bed and drill through straight into the post just to secure it. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I might get some pipe clips and just clip that tube to the top of the post. I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, it is in there quite firmly, but I'll get the screws through the scaffold boards into the posts and then see how comfortable I am with it once I've done that. It's very warm inside this polytunnel. I am getting a sweat on. Well, that's the posts finished. There wasn't enough space on the top of the posts to put pipe clips on, so I've had to improvise. Got some cable ties with some cable clips nailed onto the post just to hold that in place. The post itself is wedged under the frame, so the frame shouldn't in theory go anywhere, but these will just help as a little bit of a retainer just in case it does work loose in the wind. So fingers crossed I can relax a little bit about this polytunnel, because when I saw it earlier in the week I did panic. I imagined I'd come here today and find that it was completely collapsed. So I have been quite lucky, and the wind, as you can probably see on the polytunnel, is picking up a bit, so I've just got it done in time, I think. So I'm going to put some water on the plants and then get myself back in the cabin. The day is, as always, whizzing by at a pace. Really pleased with these cauliflowers and broccoli. They've shot up this last week. Just proves the point about the polytunnel, I guess, that getting that extra bit of heat certainly works wonders, as it is indeed for the carrots. So I'm just going to keep watering these, get them nicely watered in, and then I'll get myself back in the cabin. So busy framing up for a little kitchen area. Bit fiddly because all the levels are different, but we're almost there. Get a worktop on there, cut to size, and we'll be in business. Well, we're slowly getting there. Frames in, worktop's on, sink and gas hob is on. I just need to connect up the gas. I'll just test fit it for now because I need to do some kind of arrangement underneath the worktop for everything to be put away properly. But the counter's in and the sink is in, so I'll just do the gas, and I'm guessing it's going to be soon time to go home because it is whizzing by. But progress. Well, that's the gas bottle installed and connected to the gas hob, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but we have gas. Outstanding. So, decent progress made today. We've got the initial fix of the kitchen worktop, so sink and gas hob. Gas is installed. The partition wall is sheeted up and looking pretty good, apart from all the scrap material left lying around the place, of course. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. Looks like a bit of a disaster zone with everything scattered around the floor, but we are making progress. Quite pleased with what we've managed to achieve today. Well, it's gone 4 o'clock, so it's time I was getting myself off home. Thankfully the rain's held off and that wind we had earlier has died down, so it's quite nice, calm, pleasant evening. Pleased I got the Polytunnel done. I have been panicking about that this week. The last thing I want now is another Polytunnel disaster like last year, so keep your fingers crossed for me. Everything's put away, wood piles covered up, and everything's looking pretty nice, I have to say. Pleased with the progress today. The cabin is definitely starting to take shape.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope you found something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's it looking? Is the kitchen in the right place? Please tell me it is, because I don't want to move it now. But in general, how was everything looking? Any suggestions you have, please do leave them in the comment section below. But for now, thanks for watching and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.